Yo, 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 what up, 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 what up. Hold on, I'm making sure this is all right. I always got to check to make sure everything is looking pretty good, at least for now, because I always end up screwing stuff up. Anyway, man, the next few weeks are going to be so crazy because it has come to my attention, not really come to my attention, but it has came through, okay, that I have no idea. Okay, I have no idea what the Eagles are doing. I really don't. I mean, at this point, guys, like with the new coaching staff, new coordinators, Sirianni's hopefully taking a step back and letting the coordinators coach, letting the coaches do their thing. Okay, I honestly, besides all these little tiny nitbits of rumors that we've been hearing for a bit, I honestly have no idea. Okay, I have no clue what is going to happen within the next few weeks. Okay, I mean, the signs are pointing to that, you know, a lot of moves are going to be made. I feel like the Eagles are going to make some crazy moves. I'm not saying like they're going to break the bank and go crazy over multiple guys, but Vic Fangio needs to bring in his own guys defensively. And obviously with this offense with the Eagles, I mean, besides like knowing if Kelsey's going to retire, and if you don't have to make a move there at right guard, you know, you need a running back, you need two running backs, and you need a wide receiver 3. That's what you pretty much need offensively. And obviously depth on the offensive line, you know, so I think those are the moves you're going to have to make. But, man, the running back position this week has been rumored a lot of with the Eagles. That looks like the Ravens and the Eagles have a lot of interest in Derrick Henry moving forward. And I feel like as of right now that the Eagles, I don't think the Eagles want to pay a multi-year deal to a running back. Unfortunately, I don't. As much as I feel like, you know, they need to change that and, you know, bring somebody in here long term. Fact of the matter is this. You are not going to, you would rather pay a running back on a 1-year deal. You would rather franchise tag a running back. You would rather pick up a 5th-year option on a running back if they're a first-round pick, obviously. That's what you would rather spend money. You would rather do that than give a, you know, 4-year, $40 million deal to somebody. Okay? Or more than that. I don't think the Eagles have any interest in signing a running back to a multi-year deal. I think they would rather sign Derrick Henry for 1 year. They would rather pay somebody more guaranteed money in 1 year than they would in a multi-year contract. I think that's the way they want to go. You know, we talked about A.J. Dillon. We talked about DeAndre Swift, and I want Swift back. I feel like if you get Derrick Henry, a lot of wear and tear. You know, he's got a lot of wear and tear. He's, 30, 31 years old. So you're expecting, you know, just for him to be a rental. You know, I don't know what Derrick Henry's looking for, but I don't know. I don't think he's looking for some long-term type thing. I think he's looking for a short-term, more guaranteed money type deal that the Eagles could, you know, afford and hang on to. I think Kellen Moore wants to go back to having a power back like he did with Zeke, and obviously attack with your offensive line. Kind of did the same thing with Dallas when he was there for 4 years. The RPO, these inside runs, and running north and south, tiring out defenses. I think that's what he wants to do. But then the other hand, I seen the way he used Austin Eckler, okay, and DeAndre Swift is a better talent. You know, maybe you know, really the only thing that's wrong with DeAndre Swift is his pass protection, picking up blitzes are not great at all. And trust me, I'm one of the Eagle fans that actually would love for this team to actually use a fullback, and not a lot of teams do that. I would love to do that, but you know, I don't think the Eagles are doing that at all whatsoever. But if you sign Derrick Henry, it's not enough. And you're not going to be running the ball as much. Okay? The Titans built their roster offensively around a running back, which you should never do, obviously. Okay? So we'll find out what happens. It should be interesting. If you get A.J. Dillon, I feel like you still got to sign another guy. Whether you get Swift or you go out into the mid rounds and get a nice rotational, fast, maybe a pass catcher. You know what I mean? A receiving running back, a dual threat running back in the draft in the mid rounds. I think that's another move that they could make, within the time. So should be interesting. But I want to thank everybody that's in the chat on the not a late night stream tonight. We're doing an early stream tonight. And I want to thank everybody for coming in. We got Jazz Fusion, we got MJ, we got Fisty Raul, what's going on? We got Bruce Sanchez, Ty Sierra, Eagles Go Birds, Robert Alessandri, what's going on, man? We got John Douglas, Webfoot, Dutch H60, what's going on, man? I hope everyone's having a good night. And the tampering period's in a few weeks, and Eagles free agency is soon. There's been a lot of news regarding the draft when it comes to Eagles have a lot of interest in Cooper. There's been a lot of interest that I'll be shocked over it. I'm excited to see what they do regards to the linebacker position, because I feel like they need to make 3 moves there. If what they're looking for is getting a guy for Vic Fangio wanting one of his own, and Andrew Van Ginkel, do they go all out and pay Patrick Queen? Do they go out and get Willie Gay? I mean, do they get that guy Shire from the Titans, which he's a really athletic, very good player that would fit this scheme really well. Bobby King is our new linebacker coach. Bobby King was the linebacker coach for the Tennessee Titans, has been around him a while. So I'm obviously wondering what the Eagles are really going to focus on the most. I don't think it's going to be offensively as much. We know that most money has to be tied into our defense. There were some rumors about Janarius Sneed, and I can't even expect that the Eagles would actually think about paying Sneed top money, for his services. I think the Eagles have been down that rabbit hole too many times at this point, and I feel like, I don't know. I mean, I'll be shocked if they sign a corner to big money. I just don't see it happening. I think they should produce within their own. We're waiting on the roster. Our teams have already released players and stuff like that. The Eagles have done nothing. Most of what we need to focus on is really what's going on with HaasonReddick, which he knows he definitely wants to stay. It's really up to the Eagles at the end of the day what they want to do. A lot of these cuts that the Eagles are going to make, mostly for the money they're trying to get, are post-June cuts. Kevin Byard is a post-June cut for $14 million. Avonte Maddox is a post-June cut for $7.1 million. Kevin Byard is a big cap casualty. HaasonReddick could be a big cap casualty as well. So if the Eagles do extend him, they'll save $11 million. If they cut him, they save $16 million. If they trade him, depending on what's going to happen with the money, they're going to save over $11 million regardless. So a lot of big chunk of change. So theoretically, the Eagles could have, with a couple more restructures, maybe something, they could have over $40 million in cap space. That's not a bad number, to be honest, because the Eagles usually don't have that much money. So I'm excited to see what they do, and we'll see when the time comes. So we will see. Dust the A60 says, bring back Swift. It's the number one move I've wanted. Ty Sears says, I'm fine with Moore. Builds the offense like Dallas back in the day. Hurts has something Dak doesn't. He wins. He wins and makes plays when he has to. If the Cowboys had Hurts on that team. Yeah, I mean, I've seen this quarterback put the team on his back when the rest of our team was just not, either when it comes to bad coaching. Look at the gauntlet that the Eagles went through. How many times you see Jalen Hurts put this offense on his back and really go out there and get some of these comeback wins. And, obviously the defense had some fourth quarter stops, but I gotta say, Jalen Hurts has done a fantastic job. Yeah, it was definitely a down year, no doubt, but this coaching staff was no help. The mentality did not help. No adjustments. I mean, I think that would hurt any player at this point to go through what they went through the last 7 freaking weeks and did absolutely nothing. So it's kind of crazy. Clearwater BG says, what's your thoughts on Sneed? Pretty much, I don't think it's the right move to go after one of the top cornerbacks on the market. To me, it makes no sense. It does it does for them to go after corner, but to go into free agency and spend the money you're going to spend on Snead, I don't know if that's going to be the move. I honestly don't. I don't think they're jumping into that hole again, so, we'll see. Ian890, what's going on, man? What's going on? I don't really agree with the Henry rumors because I think it would just be smart to re-sign Swift. He will be cheaper, and we have so much priority this season. I think we should just keep him. Will he be cheaper? That's the question. Will he be cheap yearly? Maybe. His contract is supposed to be like 5.7 a year, which really isn't that bad. That's actually a steal, to be honest. Is that what he wants? I don't know. Apparently from his statistics, what everything would add up to would be like 5.7 a year. Okay, which really isn't horrible. It's actually a steal, to be honest. But do the Eagles want to keep a running back long term? Like if he got like a 4-year deal or something like that, and yeah, I mean the youth is what I really want, because I think at the end of the day, like, Swift is only 25 years old. I mean, he's young, dude. It's not like you're picking up a 28-year-old running back, 29, 30, and you're picking up a guy that's 25 and was barely used, so I know there's not much tread. You know what I mean? Like, there's no wear and tear on DeAndre Swift, but from the year that he had, barely even being used, and still had 1,000 yards. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, you had an offense with 2 1,000-yard receivers and a 1,000-yard running back for the second year straight, and we know the talent is better than what the coach has coached his team to be. I think we all know that. That's how much talent we have here. You know what I mean? JD32, so John Douglas says, what do you mean Moore didn't have too much power when he was with the Cowboys? Jerry Jones built the whole team. Dutch says, as long as we stay in our ways, I don't see the Super Bowl coming no time soon. I think things are changing, dude. I think the one thing that I definitely noticed that has changed with this team entirely is not even like who they hired, but how deep they went into really replacing coaches. Because really, the only two coaches that haven't been changed position-wise is Jeff Stoutland, obviously, the best coach on the roster. And Aaron Moorhead looks like he is staying at wide receiver coach. But other than that, they have made fantastic changes. More drastic changes than I ever thought that they would actually make. Moore is bringing in his guys. He brought in the QB coach he was with in Dallas and with the LA Chargers last year. Fangio is bringing in guys that he's been successful with in the past. I mean, it just feels like Nick is really forced to take a step back. We know Nick Sirianni has not been a part of this hiring process at all when it comes to these coaches. I think that's 100% the truth. I mean, really. But it's going to be crazy, though. We got a super chat from Wetfoot80. Thank you so much, my friend. He says, best play, get Henry and draft a running back for the future. That's what I said earlier. If you're getting a Derrick Henry and that's what you want to do, okay? And if you're getting Derrick Henry here, you want to run the football, no doubt. I mean, Derrick Henry will tire out defenses. An RPO between Derrick Henry and Jalen Hurts would be unstoppable with this offensive line, the way it is. Get Derrick Henry and draft a, dual threat running back. They'll find one out there in the mid rounds. Kenny G's on the last year of his deal right now. I mean, we're paper thin at running back after this year. I mean, depending on what they do going into the offseason. But you have J.K. Dobbins. Don't put out J.K. Dobbins as well. Howie Roseman is going to take advantage of situations. So if he would rather pay Derrick Henry a 1-year deal than pay Swift a 4 or 5-year, $40 million contract, okay? 4-year contract, 3-year, $40 million contract, whatever it is, okay? He would rather pay Derrick Henry on 1 year. It's in the cheaper run. You're not putting too much into years going forward. You would rather pay J.K. Dobbins coming off an ACL, low risk, high reward move because he's not going to be expensive going off that injury. J.K. Dobbins has a lot of talent and I think would fit in the Eagles' backfield perfectly. The problem, like I said, is how he's going to work the angles and say, well, He's coming off an ACL. His training this offseason looks pretty good. Let's bring him in on a cheap deal, and let's try to get the most out of him in 1 year. You know what I mean? They could go that direction just to take advantage. Oh, I know he's had back-to-back ACL injuries. I know, but that's what I'm saying, though. I'm saying they could take advantage of that situation and be like, man, either it's going to go really bad or it's going to go really good. And, could go that direction. You know what I'm saying? So you never know, man. Ron, what's going on, man? So what's good, Joey? How you doing, man? I'm doing good. Bradley Rickles says, Derrick Henry would be amazing if Eagles get him. Yeah, it'd be interesting. I mean, like I said, you're not going to give the ball to him over 20 times a game. That's not going to happen. The Ravens obviously need a running back because J.K. Dobbins won't be a part of their roster anymore. And obviously, they signed Dalvin Cook for the playoffs. I don't even think he played. You know what I mean? So they're in big need of a running back, no doubt. Daw Jones says running back from Florida State is very good, and kid out of Washington. I need to look at more running backs for the mid rounds, obviously, but we'll see. You'll say I think we should keep Swift and draft a running back. Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that either. Ron says, between Swift and Saquon, who would you rather have and why? I think when healthy, Saquon is the best back in the NFL. I love Swift, though, without a doubt. Yeah, it's tough for me, man. I think at the end of the day, I would like DeAndre Swift, but if Swift was off the table, Saquon Barkley would be interesting. I've always thought a healthy Saquon Barkley would be a monster behind this offensive line. I mean, Saquon Barkley, when's the last time, really be honest, consistent games, when's the last time Saquon Barkley ran through the tackles of free space? I haven't seen that in a long time with him. And obviously when you get drafted in the top 10 as a running back, you're getting drafted to a team that's pretty much a bad team. I mean, that's what I don't know why these running backs get drafted top 10 unless there's a top team out there that traded all the way up for one. And the Giants, I think they've wasted his career so far and hasn't really done, he hasn't really done much of anything. He's had an injury issue as well. So, we'll see what happens. Billy says, trade Kenneth Gainwell. No, I would love to, but it's not going to happen, though. We got to keep him for that pass protection. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let's see here. Eagles fans, Dobbins had back-to-back. Yes, Dwan Joseph can't find a gem in the draft if you put it in his mouth. Facts. Oh, man. Let's see here. Black Line, what's going on, man? He says, Derrick Henry must be cooked if we're interested. We never want to get good players in their prime. We always go for bargain bin bums past their primes. I'm not buying it. I think Henry's had a good few. Henry's played very well. I don't think he's dead in the water. I still think he has a little juice in the tank. I don't think he's as bad as you think he is. I just don't want to. I don't think the Eagles want to run him into the ground, though. That's the whole thing. You don't want to run him into the ground. You want to keep him nice and fresh every single game and not give him too much, but give him a nice rotation too, because you don't want to use Derrick Henry too much. You know what I mean? And yes, he is 30 years old. I get it. But if it's for a 1 year rental and you have to sign somebody else, okay, whether it's through free agency or the draft. So if you're pairing up Gainwell, and I don't want Gainwell to have even first or second team reps. If you got a Derrick Henry here, you're pairing him up with somebody. It would be a dream to have A.J. Dillon and Swift, or Derrick Henry and Swift. That would be friggin' awesome. Would they do it? I don't know. I think they still keep 3 backs on the roster this year. I don't think Boston Scott is coming back, because at this point he's a waste of money, and I don't think we have any use for him at this point. When was the last time Howie drafted a top 10 cornerback? Yeah, really since the two that we had, Lito Shepherd and what's his face. So we haven't done it in a long time. Well, theoretically, really, realistically, okay, 2017, the pick for that draft was Sidney Jones in the first round. He dropped to the second at 52-53. The Eagles took a chance on him. So, you know, Dave Spadaro did say in 17, okay, after the draft was over the first night, the pick was Sidney Jones before he blew out his Achilles. You know what I mean? That was supposed to be our first round pick cornerback. So I don't think it's impossible. I think drafting a lot. This Edgar and Cooper news is crazy right now. There's so much news coming out of Edgar and Cooper to the Eagles. Not even just, I'm not talking about mock drafts. I'm talking like there's news coming out that the Eagles have had multiple meetings with him between the East-West Shrine Bowl, the Senior Bowl. I mean, there was multiple meetings with him, and apparently there is a lot more interest than we realize. I mean, let me tell you something. They draft a running back. They draft a linebacker in the first round. I will cover my body in fucking peanut butter and roll around outside in the fucking snow. Okay? All right? I promise, and I will have underwear on. Okay? I'll wear tighty whities just for the convenience. I'm just saying. Darnell says, why do we need Derrick Henry when you got Rashad? No, he's not on the roster anymore. He's a free agent. He's a free agent. But that ACL, I just don't know about that move. Who, for Dobbins? A.J. Dillon I would love. A.J. Dillon was very balanced last year. I think over 600 yards rushing, over 200 yards receiving. I like the A.J. Dillon move if they make it, but they have to incorporate him with somebody else. So. James Lambert said, I think we keep Swift. I think we would do a lot more in Kellen Moore's offense. Oh, no, 100%. I feel like with DeAndre Swift, he's probably going to be the best back that Moore has ever had, to be honest with you. Especially I really wanted to incorporate him in the passing game so much this year, and they tried to, and then his reps have decreased in the passing game over multiple weeks. The way they use Austin Eckler, and he's a good player, but not as good as DeAndre Swift from an athletic standpoint to just so athletic and just so good. We know what DeAndre Swift can do on a cut of a dime. 100% speed, changing direction, and 9 out of 10 times he's making the first guy miss. You know, it's crazy, man. Eagle says, what's your thoughts on potentially getting Van Ginkel? I like it because he's played under Fangio and he's still got some years in him. Yeah, so the only problem I have with Van Ginkel is he's 29 and how much is he going to get paid? Now, it would be a win-win situation for him. It's like, why wouldn't he want to play with the defensive coordinator that made him very successful? Okay, the fifth year of Van Ginkel with 53 quarterback pressures and 6 sacks. It's a pretty good year. You know, you're going to be playing the base 3-4 scheme where you have 4 guys in coverage, obviously, and you're going to have, some guys are going to have to stay on the line. Van Ginkel has been a hunter on the line, has been getting nonstop pressure on quarterbacks. I swear to God, when Miami Dolphins games were on constantly, I seriously would sit there and be like, holy shit, dude, they've been saying Van Ginkel's name the whole entire game. Okay, now I don't know what the contract is going to look like, but I think it will be a little bit cheaper, maybe. I think he will get paid, but I don't think it's going to be as much as Patrick Queen, as much as, Willie Gay and some of these other guys. We'll see what happens, but Van Ginkel is automatically a big target for the Eagles just because Vic Fangio is making these moves. And, Deshaun Elliott, the safety from Miami, is another guy that they could get. And he's a pretty nice in-the-box type safety as well. Great tackler. I think Deshaun Elliott and Van Ginkel could be really 2 players that come to the Eagles that did really well with the Miami Dolphins. 1 safety and 1 corner. I think realistically the Eagles need like 3 bodies at safety other than Reed Blankenship. And cornerback is obviously pretty friggin', I'm excited to see Keely Ringo with another offseason, Eli Ricks with another offseason. Who I'm really excited for at cornerback is Isaiah Rodgers coming back from the gambling stuff that's been going on. I think he will replace Avonte Maddox on the inside. So I think there's a lot going on, man. There's a lot of good things to take from it. Rock Dars, what's going on, dude? How you doing, man? Barkley will be a Charger first day free agency pickup. Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot of rumors with Barkley going to the Chargers. So, let's see here. Webfoot says, "What do you think Moore is going to do at wide receiver 3?" Well, we obviously know that when Kellen Moore's offense, he will not ignore a position. The great thing about Kellen Moore is he doesn't ignore anything. He loves getting his tight ends involved, especially, which is a good sign for Dallas Goedert going forward. But I think having, even what he did, like even with the Cowboys with his 4 years being there, I mean, Jesus, I mean, what he did with some of those guys was fantastic. Noah Brown is apparently a big target for the Eagles at wide receiver 3. He's had over 500 yards the past couple seasons each. And Noah Brown, ex-Cowboy as well, with Kellen Moore, is probably another big target for Kellen Moore. They don't need a guy with just speed. I'm tired of it. I feel like they really need a guy that is a route running capability type wide receiver 3, is when their number is called. It's not even just like when their number is called, like Kellen Moore draws plays up for his number 3 wide receiver. He gets everybody involved. He gets the quarterback heavily involved in things. Like, there's not going to be one guy that's not involved. I'm not saying that it's going to be distributed well every single game, but I'm saying, like, you're going to see crossers. You're going to see intermediate routes. You're going to see the middle of the field is, oh man, it's like, oh man, it's like having an orgasm for the first time and being like, wow, what just happened? You know what I mean? It's just like that. It's crazy. It's nuts. You know? You think about these things sometimes. Samtrex 97909 down says, Joey, what is your dream situation for a linebacker? My dream situation as of right now for the linebacker position is that they sign a linebacker to big money, which is Patrick Queen. I would absolutely love that as my number one option. I would sign a prove-it deal to Devin White or somebody, and then I would go into the second round and draft whoever's available, whether it's Trotter or whoever's there, okay? I feel like they have to sign a linebacker to big money, and then they have to sign a prove-it deal guy like Devin White, because he will be cheap, and then you go into the draft and have somebody that you could have for another 4 years. Okay? I feel like they have to hit 3 times at linebacker and put more competition in front of Nakobe Dean, because unfortunately, guys, Nakobe Dean is a liability because he has no availability. Okay? There's no availability. If that was my dream, if it was up to me what I would do, because I just love it, that's what I would do. Is that going to happen? No. But, I feel like there's a possibility, but we'll see. They need like 3 bodies at linebacker. They need to sign like 3 guys. Draft 1, sign 2. Whether it's 1 the big money, 1 prove it, and 1 draft. I don't care how you do it. You know what I mean? We'll see. But appreciate the super, man, very much. Van Ginkel is average. I think he's very productive, man. He gets pressures. He helps out other guys. He makes other guys successful. I don't know why he's average. I think he played fantastic last year. He played really good last year. It's not just about sack numbers, man. The guy is chasing quarterbacks nonstop all year last year. Go watch some of Van Ginkel's highlights, dude. That guy tackles well. That guy's physical. I mean, his pursuit is really good. Doesn't get beat off block. I mean, it's pretty damn good, man. The only thing that's against it is he's 29. So how much are you going to put into a 29-year-old off of having a pretty good friggin' year? That's the question. Xavier McKinney would be a good one, too. Xavier McKinney would be a good one. I would love Xavier McKinney here at safety. Do I just Hurts better develop a quick pass game? Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's what's going to happen. I mean, they run from under center, they pass from under center, they do these quick little. I mean, this is just how Hurts was coached this year, unfortunately, and the coaching staff has set everyone up to fail. That's been the biggest problem. They set everyone up to fail, and it sucks. Allergies, bad. Yeah, I would love Noah Brown. Yeah, Noah Brown would be a good fit, man. He was good with the Cowboys. Could play inside, outside. I mean, can move him anywhere you want. Johnny F says, I would love to sign defensive tackle Christian Wilkins and linebacker Van Ginkel from Miami and linebacker Jose Jewell, Pat Surtain, or Justin Simmons with all Fangio familiarity. Yeah, I think Fangio's going to get his own guys. Yeah, Christian Wilkins was like one of my favorites from the, what was it, the 21 draft? Yeah, I mean, that Clemson defensive line, Christian Wilkins was like my number one guy. And the Eagles went the total opposite direction when it was a defensive draft, and they went Andre Dillard at 21. I was at the movies when that happened. I was like, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me, really? So, it is what it is. James M. So I've been seeing that Joe Mixon might be available. Yeah, there's rumors that they're going to be moving on from him. You should draft Joe Mixon. You should draft Joe Mixon. You should have drafted Joe Mixon. Sorry, I had a flashback. You should have drafted Joe Mixon. D-Mike says Rodgers is average as well. Y'all talking this dude up. Corley can't create separation. That's why his pro comp is Debo. Dewan says it hurts better develop a quick. Oh, I already read this. Oh, a 7 second. All these 7 second route. Yeah, dude. These route combinations taking guys are still running routes after Jalen Hurts has to fucking has to move to his right every single time out of the pocket. It's crazy, dude. Choice says not sold on Queen. He was about to be gone before Roquan. He'd be good here. Roquan just became a fantastic piece for them, no doubt. Let's see. Web, if it's a Hollywood, I would be okay with Palmer. Yeah, Hollywood Brown will be out there. Elijah Moore will be out there. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Elijah Moore. Hollywood Brown wouldn't be bad. He's not going to get paid that much. We'll see, though. Rico Jack says, just draft Axeman Jr. and sign King Henry. Let the cards fall where they may. I think that's what they should do, but they have to be aggressive too to get the guys that they need to get. And there's no doubt in my mind that Fangio's going to get the guys that he wants. Because the Eagles are leaving that defense up to Fangio. Okay, they got too much respect for him. He's gonna get his own guys. Charles says, "Good night from Nassau, Bahamas. Outstanding stream. I just smashed the like, but appreciate it so much, Charles. I wish I was in the Bahamas, having a nice drink with a, I don't even know, with a little umbrella thing in the drink. Looking all fancy." We got Thane Cero, the super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, hey, Joey, do you think the Eagles should give Jordan Davis another year, or should they sign Justin Bleak? I don't know. Who the hell is Justin Mad? Is that the guy from the... Who is it? The guy from the Patriots? I don't know who that is. I'm trying to remember what that name is. Well, Jordan Davis is going to have... Of course, they'll never give up on Jordan Davis. I mean... Jordan Davis, dude, this whole defensive line hit a wall, man. Jordan Davis is not only showing that all I wanted Jordan Davis was to stuff some runs this year. And let me tell you, the first, 25% of the season, that man had a nice pass rush. I mean, just knocking people over with getting double teamed. Just wait until he goes back to a nose tackle position and to see what he could do there is going to be absolutely amazing. I still think they need another edge rusher. I still think, depending on what happens with HaasonReddick, I still think they need an extra one regardless, but they definitely need another depth piece at defensive tackle. Milton Williams is going to look real nice playing outside as well, so I'm excited about that. I think Milton Williams I think they've been holding out on him a little bit too much. So, we'll see. Appreciate the super, by the way, man. Got a super from Webfoot80, man. Thank you so much. Says, can't wait for hot routes and crossing routes, man. Dude, it wasn't watching the playoffs so man, it just made you jealous. I mean, you know what made me more jealous of just the routes in general from wide receivers? How everybody uses their fucking running backs, like James Cook. These dual threat running backs in the passing game. That's what I love, man. That's what I love. Made me real jealous seeing all that. Appreciate the super, by the way, Webb. Dude, cool. So the Eagles got to focus on linebackers, corners, and safety and re-sign Swift and a third receiver. I totally agree. That's 100% what they need to do. Linebackers, corners, safety, and a running back and a wide receiver 3. Obviously you need some depth at offensive line if they re-sign Sua Opeta. Jack Driscoll's a free agent. Tyler Steen going into his second year. What they're doing with him, I don't know. But he might have to try to learn right tackle as well. I don't know. We'll see. Or if this is also wear a Jason mask. That'd be cool. I have one, actually. Obviously not surprising, but I do have one. John says, hey, with the bet, you might be looking fancy with peanut butter and snow. Hey, I'll do the bet. I'll have people vote on it. If that move happens, if they actually draft a linebacker in the first round, I will do it. I will do it. If everybody wants to challenge me, I will do it. D-Money says, Nolan Smith needs to be learning how to play off the ball. He's not a pass rusher. I think he is a pass rusher. I think he can be. I think he needs to bulk up a little bit. But he has way too much athletic ability to just be a pure pass rusher. In this scheme, I think he should be in open space and using his athleticism. I really do. It's not even his fault. The playing time that he got this year. He barely got playing time. He got hurt 2 times this year. He got hurt out of training camp into the regular season with a stinger or something. I got hurt in the preseason game. Then he got hurt again. And then they barely even used him. Desai had some stupid excuse to say, oh, well, we can only give so many plays. So this is your first round pick. He got some, Derek Barnett's taking more snaps from him. They had him listed as a Sam linebacker first quarter of the year. I don't know, but I didn't think it was fair. Let's see here. I got you, Webb. I got you. We have a super chat from Thade Sarah. Thank you so much. Says, Matt Rodriguez is the DT out of Baltimore. Good year. Yeah, I have to look at him. I know that the Patriots just released one of their DTs because he was a cap casualty, I think, or maybe they just agreed for him to leave as well. I know there's a couple DTs that have been free agents as well. There's a lot available. We'll see what happens. I need to go through more of the list for more depth at DT, but we'll see. Because I don't know, Fletch, I don't know if he's retiring, what's happening. I have no idea. He played really well. Fletcher Cox played fantastic. He's not the old Fletcher Cox, but let me tell you, in that rotation, I thought he played really well. I think he was one of the few players that really showed attitude on the field this year when things were going down the drain the last 7 weeks, too. So we got Young Truth, the super chat. Thank you so much, man. It says running back Braylon Allen, 6'2", 245, run 440 is a beast. I gotta check him out. I've been hearing his name nonstop, dude. Nonstop. Definitely gotta check it out. Yeah, his bend is crazy, dude. It's crazy. Like he just, I think one of the issues is I think he's a little light. I think he's a little light in weight. Okay, and I think number 2 is his hand placement isn't fantastic at times, you know. But we'll see down the road. DeWan Jones says our offense is good. Defense can't stop nothing. Can't stop a dead body for real. I get it, dude. That's why you're bringing Fangio in. That's why you're getting his own guys, and it's gonna be a lot of changes to this defense going forward. You know. Johnny F says I need Howie to be bad man this offseason. Please fix this defense and don't be afraid to go after linebackers and safeties. I think Howie Roseman, I think he took it as a challenge during that press conference with Nick Sirianni, the end of the year press conference, where he said, oh, people say I don't put too much into linebackers, you know, that I don't value that position at all. I think he does, dude. I think he values it a lot, you know. Fisty Rouse says Desai needs to be coaching Pop Warner. Maybe. He probably will be. JT56 says, how are we feeling about giving Byard a chance with a legit defense? I don't think you can. He has to get cut. He has to. They can extend him for to save $9 million, but they'll get $14 million by a post-June cut. Get rid of Byard. Go sign Eddie Jackson. You got to sign 3 bodies. I don't care if Reed Blankenship's there or not. Sidney Brown is a torn ACL. He's going to be out till October. Okay? You need 3 bodies. Yeah, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is available too. Look, let me tell you something. If they were to get Chauncey Gardner-Johnson only because he's cheap, I would get him. I don't know what the relationship, what's going on with that, you know, what all that looks like, but hey. Jazz says Fletcher fits the new scheme, depends on his desire and the money. Yeah, that's really, Fletcher Cox ended up taking a pay cut this past year. Like, he was supposed to get $15 million for 1 year. You know, will they give that? I don't know. Byard are good. Byard is good. Our coordinators was hot guard. Oh no, I think a lot of players were good. I mean, every player couldn't tackle. The players couldn't be physical. It came down to what they were taught at practice all year to how they got into these games this year. The coaching aspect affected every player. Every position was flawed because of how the coaches coached. I mean, nobody had a chance of becoming successful. How are you supposed to analyze your roster at the end of the year? How are you supposed to have this fucking meeting with the coaches in the front office and say, what players should we trade, cut, release, whatever the case may be? How are you supposed to analyze the roster when you play the way you played all year? All players almost giving up on the franchise pretty much. It's crazy. 4 to 5. What's going on, man? It says pre-snap motion does exist. And yes, Kellen Moore is top 10 in pre-snap motion, which is it's fantastic. It's fantastic. Eagles said, I saw the rumor that Cox is interested in going to Pittsburgh to play with Hayward, but I think he retires or comes back to the Eagles. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there was rumors of that. I don't know. It could happen. It's not off the table. It could happen. No one is built like Trent Cole. I think he's more athletic than Trent Cole, to be honest. Case SF3455 says Bradbury should get the Rashad Penny treatment. Everybody is making a big deal out of Bradbury, okay? and his contract. They can't get rid of him. Oh my God. It's not the truth. Like, all they have to do is extend him and then they cut him. His dead cap is in the single digits. You can eat that up instantly. So it's not a big deal. I'll be shocked if Fangio's sitting there and he's like, I really like Bradbury. He fits our scheme really well. I'll be shocked over that shit. I'll be shocked. I doubt if it happens, but I would be shocked like crazy. We got a super chat from Uriel Campuzano, and thank you so much for the Superman. Much appreciated so much. He says, as the days go by, I think more Kelsey is retiring. The year they brought back the Kelly Green, the year Jason retired. So I got his retro Kelly Green jersey as homage on the way. Thank you, Kelsey. I don't know what's going to happen. He's going to take another 2 weeks. And after what Mulata said in his little statements a few days ago, oh, Kelsey's enjoying life, and he's doing this, and he's enjoying his family, and he's being himself. You know, it's really hard for me to say that Kelsey's going to stay. So I don't know what's going to happen here, but I'm really hoping that he comes back for one more year. So there has been signs that he's been retiring. There have been a lot of signs that he's staying. Hopefully we get a video of him in a beer barrel telling us he's coming back. I'm hoping. Appreciate the super chat very much, my guy. Very much. Pre-snap is what won the Chiefs the Super Bowl. Oh yeah, dude. Like, I mean, look at the Miami Dolphins. Look what the Dolphins do. I mean, how many times did I get tricked out watching the Dolphins this year and that pre-snap shit that they do? I don't even know where the play is going. That's how crazy it is. Frank says, people wanting Byard back or tripping. He's regressed a lot. There's a reason the Trash Titans got rid of him. I don't think he's awful and could probably fit the scheme, but he's not the answer. No, I think you have to get rid of him because he's a cap casualty. That's number one. If he had a fan, I can say, oh, well, give Byard another chance because the scheme was a complete mess. I totally get that. But $14 million is a huge chunk of money the Eagles need. And there are a lot of free agent safeties. And there are a lot of safeties that Vic Fangio is, especially Deshaun Elliott. I mean, I'd sign Deshaun Elliott. Even Eddie Jackson. Eddie Jackson played the best under Vic Fangio in Eddie Jackson's first 2 years. Second year, he was an all-pro. You got to bring three bodies at safety. Whether he's 30 or not 30, they got to bring three bodies that fit the scheme. It's all about fitting the scheme. Okay? Dog Joe's Kellen will scheme up. Matter of fact, he will be the Eagles' next coach. I said this on the shakedown on Saturday. I told Philly 500 the last couple weeks. I've told Philly, okay, that they have set this up for Kellen Moore to be the next head coach if anything falls down. If the Eagles lose the first 3 out of 4 games, I think Sirianni will get fired. 100%. In a flash. A flash. So, guys, I feel like we're going to trade for Seattle cornerback Tyreek Woolen. If they got Tyreek Woolen, man, I love his attitude, man. I love his pushback attitude. It's just great, man. Pro Bowler already. It's crazy. Crazy. LeBron Riser, what's going on, man? He says, I wouldn't trade for Surtain if I was y'all. Broncos might want a first, possibly a second rounder, a little too much. Honestly, dude, like, as much as I wouldn't want to give up a first, I feel like I think it's good compensation. I think they would want more than a first. I think they would want like 2 firsts. I'm not even kidding. I think they're going to overly want too much for him. You know what I mean? I think he's going to cost way too much. But Eagle fans say, oh, I don't want to pay the top cornerback. I get it. You don't think Surtain is going to want a big contract? Surtain is going to get a contract. It's going to happen. You're going to have to pay him. You know what I mean? There's no running away from it. It's going to happen. You know? Thanks, Sarah. What's going on, man? Thank you for the super chat, man. He says, I want more as head coach back than Andy, and then next to Andy R. Oh, yeah. I mean, look, Kellen Moore actually interviewed for the head coaching job in 21 before Nick came here. Before Frank Reich said, you know what? He's a really good coach. You should hire him. Oh, sure. Let's just cancel our other interviews for Nick Sirianni and boom. You know, and that's what happened. So, I think they've set it up. They've set this whole thing up perfectly. For a lot of reasons. So we'll see, you know. Tommy says, I believe Swift is the best option if they don't re-sign him. There's only one free agent running back that Eagles should go after, and that's Saquon, but Swift should be our guy. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind Saquon. It's just the, can he stay healthy? Hopefully. But Saquon has already said to the Giants what he wants to get paid, and these running backs think they're going to get 10 plus, 12 plus a year, 15 plus a year. It ain't going to happen. Not in Philadelphia, it's not. I feel like the Eagles are going to get more value for themselves and say, I'd rather sign Derrick Henry for a year. I'd rather sign J.K. Dobbins for a year after 2 ACL injuries just because they're going to be cheap. It's a lot cheaper to sign Derrick Henry for 1 year than to sign a contract to somebody for multiple years. You'd rather franchise tag a running back. You'd rather sign a running back to a 1 year deal. I'm trying to think how the Eagles would think, because it just makes sense at the end of the day. Like, you give a running back monstrous money, okay? You know, then if you don't run with him enough, you're not getting it. Like, that's what I'm saying, dude. Like, if you pay a running back huge money, 4 years, big deal, you don't run with that running back enough, it seems like you're not getting the money. You're not getting what you pay for out of that running back too much. You know, I'd rather franchise tag a running back. I'd rather sign one to 1 year. Like, I get it. Like, I want Swift here long term. But is that what the Eagles are going to do? I don't know. Dave Sierra with the super chat. Thank you so much, because I want more as I already read this. Sorry, I already read this. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place. I have no idea what I'm doing tonight. So JD56 says, hopefully these schemes change so bringing on all these players will actually work. No, I think it's going to. I mean, you see both of these coaches are hiring their own coaching staff around them, and the control is there. I feel like the control is there. I feel like Nick has had nothing to do with this process at all, which is great. Why is Nick here? I still don't know. I wasn't highly impressed by how Nick, you have to see what your head coach, how he reacts, how he changes things during adversity. Okay? And you lost 7 weeks. I mean, you lost. Okay? You didn't play well. You want to see how your coach reacts and keeps the team on its feet when they're winning. I think he's a great coach when he inspires the team, and he's a player's coach and he does right by the players. But then when the chips are falling down, that's another test for the head coach. How does your head coach react when the chips are falling? The season is you're losing the season by your fingertips. And I was not impressed. The stupid press conferences every week, not taking blame for anything, barely. I think us coaches have to look at ourselves first, and not shit like that. Like, hey, I fucked this up today. I should have did this today. I got to do better next week, and you know what? It's all on me. I got to do this. But you're doing this every week, and you're saying this every week, and nothing is changing. I lost faith in Nick after those 7 weeks. I lost faith in Nick after 3 weeks. Really? Or even 2 weeks, because they didn't even show a glimpse of production, of change, of adjustments. Nothing was there. You know? Touch says, Nick Sirianni is on the clock. He better be on his game because there's 100% potential under him. I get it. 5-star, what's going on? So what up, Joey? What's new under the sun? I don't know. A sky. I have no idea. But everything's all right. I actually just got my taxes done today. I had a nice little return coming. That was great. I had a nice big ass return coming, so it's good. It was a good day. Getting your tax return is fantastic time of the year. It's the only bright side of the winter time, you know. Randy says, I hope we draft Cedric Gray from North Carolina. Was easily the best backer in the Senior Bowl in his tackling machine, second round grade. And be another one in the second round the Eagles can get. The Eagles have 2 of them. We'll see. Reggie says, with all due respect, Kellen Moore never faced adversity like Andy Reid did. Moore did not work on his way up the coach ladder. Moore equals Cliff Kingsbury. A bit spoiled brats. I think the big knock on Kellen Moore is playoffs. That's the big knock. Because sometimes even when he went to the playoffs with the Cowboys, he got real pass happy in a lot of games. Got way too pass happy. He gets a little full of himself at times. He gets a little cocky and conceited at times, and doesn't play situational football in the playoffs when they have leads. That's the big knock on him when you're in playoff atmosphere. Hopefully that does change. And I don't know, he's very well respected across the league as a very young offensive mind. What he brings to the table offensively, he's not following a coach that he's coached under. He's following what he did at Boise State and what he did there with the play calling. When he was a quarterback over there. So, I mean, he's a very smart coach. I believe he is. Obviously, the Cowboys fans started not to like him because they were losing playoff games and they were blaming the wrong guy because they're having the same issues that they've been having since Kellen Moore left. So, really, I think Kellen Moore is with the better quarterback. He's with the better offense. And I think he is lucky to have Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. I can't imagine what he's going to do with both of them. Really. I mean, you saw Amari Cooper. You saw CD. I mean, Michael Gallup. I mean, what he did with those guys. Just imagine what he would do with 2 guys like Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. I mean, and a wide receiver 3 of his choice that he's been successful with in the past would be interesting. Let's see. Chris Scott says, if we pay Henry, look for Howie to draft a stud wide receiver early. Howie wants our offense to be dominant. The rest of the draft can be defense. Yeah, I mean, look, I feel like they're going to get a free agent wide receiver. I feel like it's going to happen. I feel like as much as I love Ladd McConkey from Georgia, which I am like, he's like my number 1 guy in this draft when it comes to the wide receiver 3 position. Not the best in the draft, but just for that position. Okay, I feel like they're going to go after a free agent that Kellen Moore has had. I think Noah Brown could be a big target for the Philadelphia Eagles, but we'll see. And then go into the draft and draft all defense. It doesn't hurt. Which I think that's not going to happen in some case. I feel like in the later day 3, at least they're going to draft a running back probably on day 3. They're going to be drafting a guy on the offensive line, no doubt. Someone's getting drafted. At least the first 3 picks, someone's getting drafted. First 4 picks, I'll say. Josh said Nick never had anything to do with any process ever. He's a beard for the front office. That's why he isn't gone. No, he isn't gone because he was given the Doug Peterson treatment. Doug Peterson was given the treatment, fire your coaching staff and go outside the organization and go hire some new blood. Doug said no, and he got fired. Nick fired both his coordinators. Okay? Howie told Nick, look, if you don't fire your coordinators, you're gone. And he did. That was the difference between Doug and Nick. The same concept, but Nick agreed to it. So, you know. Jazz says wide receiver 3 is a starter. Oh, 100%. Because with Kellen Moore, no position will be ignored. He loves getting his wide receiver 3s involved. He loves getting both his number 1 and 2 receivers involved. It's not going to be I'm not saying every game that they're going to have, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith are going to have the same statistics, but I'm saying you're not going to see one half of the season AJ Brown, second half Devontae Smith. Like, I feel like that's what we see all the damn time. Kellen Moore is going to play every strand and get as much production out of every strand of his offense at every position as possible. That's what Kellen Moore does well, because the guy knows how to draw up plays. It's the truth, man. Jazz says, I lost faith in Nick after the first presser told you everything you need to know. The first presser? What is inductory? Tommy Vibe says, Joey, I 100% agree. But personally, if the Eagles are going to spend money on a running back, I'd rather give it to Saquon over Henry because of age. But like I said, I'd rather we save money and re-sign Swift. Well, well, the thing is are they going to save money by signing Swift? That's what I'm saying, dude. But it's not just the money. It's, do they want to sign one running back for 4 years and be locked into it? Or do they want to sign a 1-year type of guy like Derrick Henry? That Derrick Henry will come here and know he's not getting the ball over 20 times because he's got wear and tear, no doubt. But when he gets his opportunities, it won't even affect him at all. And then after the year, you're done. The Eagles are weird when it comes to running backs because they don't like signing to multi-year deals. They don't like doing it. They never have. I hope that changes. If they sign Swift to a multi-year extension, I'll be really happy and surprised. But, we'll see. We'll see. David says, I don't get why Sirianni is here either. He obviously couldn't pull the team out of a tailspin. No, it was bad, man. It was as bad as it can get. His excuses every week, it just wasn't good. Reese says, Kellen Moore was given opportunities because Jerry Jones likes him. David says, am I the only one who thinks Hurts needs to be better with all the talent around him? I mean, do you think that Hurts needs to be better because he had bad coaches? I'm not saying that all the blame doesn't go to Jalen Hurts, but some does. But look what is given. All the big leaks that we heard after the season was over, that Hurts, Sirianni, and Brian Johnson had a disconnect, that Hurts was trying to change the offense for weeks, and Nick would just passively not even listen to him. Those were the big leaks that came out. If your quarterback is trying to change the offense and the coaches aren't listening to your franchise guy, then what are you supposed to? How is he supposed to feel? How is he supposed to stay motivated? I don't blame Hurts for playing like shit, and I don't blame him for having an attitude if he even had one. Or maybe felt like, screw it, I'm just gonna if they want to set me up to fail, it is what it is. I've tried as much as I possibly could to change this offense in the meeting rooms, and nothing is getting done. So the chips are gonna fall where they fall. I can't go on this tyrant of like, it's all on Jalen Hurts. I can't do that shit. I can't do it. You can't just blame one guy. You really can't. You can't. I had a guy that said that shit. I had a guy a few streams ago came in my chat, was like, oh, it's 100% Hurts. I couldn't believe it, dude. I honestly couldn't. You think Hurts would take this much of a dive in the fucking... I mean, come on now. You know what you have in the building. Mr. Rudy Poo with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. It says, can we stop signing players out of their prime? I just want us to get younger and sign dudes who don't take business decisions on defense. They're going to sign young guys. But it doesn't mean you don't need a veteran player either. Sometimes you need that. You have to have veteran players. At least, not half your roster, but, if you sign one at safety and, whatever. We don't have a leader on defense. Simple as that. Chauncey was like the last leader we had. Pretty much vocally. So, I don't know what's going to happen, but they need someone that has a voice, and we don't have that right now. Appreciate the super, by the way, Mr. Rudy Poo. Webfoot the super chat says the coaches did nothing to help Hurts at all. No, that's why when people say it's all on Jalen Hurts, it fucking aggravates me. It really does, dude. Reggie says the NFL hates the Eagles in the city of Philly. The Brazil game will be Green Bay Packers versus the Eagles. Yeah, it'll be a good matchup. We'll see. That'll be the first game. We'll be playing the second game of this. We'll be the second game of the season, first week. Counts towards an Eagles home game, but Eagles said it's not all on Hurts. He was set up to fail this year with the horrible coaching. But look at the examples. Your whole defense can't tackle. They can't get pressure. You can't get your defensive line home. You can't play your linebackers downfield. You don't run stunts. Seriously, there's fucking issues, man. Like, why was Sean Desai hired? Oh, they hired Sean Desai because Nick is a huge fan of Fangio and said, you know what? Let's hire the guy closest to Vic Fangio, because Sean Desai was literally the apprentice as a defensive quality control guy under Fangio with the Bears for a few years. And he had no idea how to run a fucking defense. The only thing positive I could say what Sean Desai did was okay was he didn't give up the big play a lot, which was good. But Matt Patricia, Jesus Christ, dude. You only gave up 22 points a game with Sean Desai. You're giving up 28 plus. 28 plus, dude. Marty says, I hope we just get Steve Wilkes just to make the 49ers mad. What a fucking horrible move that was. Man, dude. Scapegoat written all over that. Jazz says, Nick wouldn't change because he lacks the authority and is too much of a coward to admit it. The truth would have been blown up this team. He gets paid to take the bullets. I didn't like... he did not impress me at all. Worship guitar up. So people who blame Jalen don't watch film and don't know who the first read. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you have no fucking check down. He's not even coached. He's not even coached to check the ball down. Guys, they literally have plays. They have underthrown plays to get PI calls. Like that Seattle game, that last pass, that underthrown ball to A.J. Brown on purpose was for a PI call. It wasn't even a penalty-free play. It was literally a play for a PI. You didn't pick this play to make a play, to design a play for your receiver to catch the ball. You made a play to underthrow it for a penalty. Seriously, who does that? Your last play of the game is your last play, and you just want to hope to God the flag is thrown. That's how this fucking guy is coached at practice. That's the game plan when the chips start falling down. That's just insane, dude. It's just insane. Your leader's Darius Slay. Don't even. Don't even get me on the Darius Slay situation, because I am tired of that old fucking guy already. I'm tired of him. We have to deal with him for one more year, but I am tired of that guy. I am done. I'm glad that these, I think what's ruining sports is these player podcasts with their own YouTube channels. Okay, that's number one. Okay, number two, the shit that they say out of their mouths are far worse than I have ever imagined. And Slay has shown. See, Slay will show off his money. Slay will act like some fucking celebrity sometimes and want more money. This guy almost left us to go to Baltimore. He came back and the Eagles paid him more money. And then after what's his face? I almost said Jeremiah Trotter for some weird reason. After he was called out because the cornerbacks weren't playing physical. The cornerbacks can't tackle. The cornerbacks don't want to tackle. And Slay comes out and he says that, I have to be, I have to watch, I don't tackle that way anymore. I don't tackle that way anymore. I need to be there for my family, and, I'm going to retire soon. And I'm sitting there like, Seth Joyner, thank you. I'm just like, are you fucking serious? I just lost respect for that dude. You have the balls to almost go to the Ravens, bait the Eagles to pay you more money, and they do, and you're sitting there and you won't tackle a specific way. If a cornerback leads in tackles, that's not good. If a safety leads in tackles, that's not good. You understand? That's not good. All right? As long as I get him to the ground, I get him to the ground. And then before the playoff game, okay? Before the playoff game, he comes out and he's like, I'm glad we're not playing in Philadelphia. I don't really feel like getting booed. Like, why are you saying shit like this? Like, you make yourself look so fucking soft. Go retire. Be with your fucking family and your 10 million kids. Okay? Go eat your wife's banana fucking pudding and retire and shut the fuck up. Seriously. If you're so worried about getting a neck injury and you're afraid to tackle and be physical, as long as I defend my area and take them down, that's all that matters. Then go fucking retire, dude. I hated that, dude. I hated that when I heard that. These guys should not have podcasts. These guys should not have their own podcasts and their own. They shouldn't. I don't care. They shouldn't. It's making a lot of players look soft. Micah Parsons, another one from yesterday. He is the most sensitive player I have ever fucking heard of. For a leader for the Dallas Cowboys, a big time playmaker on that defense, the best player on their defense. He is one of the most sensitive fucking guys I have ever seen talk about football. I mean, and the way he defends the Cowboys in the most complaining fucking way. I mean, Jesus, dude. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know. I mean, come on now. Fuck that. Call me Slay. Yeah, my name's Slay, not Darius. Well, your name is fucking Darius, so shut your mouth. It's Darius. Let me tell you something, guys. If you've been a channel, if you've been subscribed for a day, a week, a month, a year, 10 years, whatever the case may be, I do not hold back from anything that happens during the season. Nothing. I don't walk on eggshells. You get a raw reaction. And I'm not the smartest guy in the world, okay? I don't claim to be smart when it comes to free agency, the draft, fucking football in general. I've played Pee-wee. I've played high school. I've played college football in my career. But that's it. Nothing crazy. And I just state how I feel, and that's it. That's it. I mean, at the end of the day, me and you and I are the same person, okay? Not the same person, but we are fans of the Eagles. But at the end of the day, I am the same as what you guys are. The only difference is I make videos about this shit every single day. Sometimes things piss me off. So I played D3 at Utica, so for 2 years. Not like it's a private school. I used to go to the Syracuse games for free because Syracuse owned, I don't know if they still do, but I know at the time when I went to Utica, Syracuse owned Utica College, which that's where I played. But I only went to that school because I was a business. Well, I was getting into hotel and casino management. That my major was hotel and casino management. So yeah, that was where I was at. Webfoot, I'm sorry guys, I have to leave. Get ready for work. Everyone have a good day. Hey, Webfoot, have a good day, dude. Enjoy your time at work. Just keep it real, man, and don't worry about the Eagles. The Eagles will take care of themselves, man. Oh, I rant all the time. I rant all the time, dude. That's what I do, man. Dominico Shinakaticola. His Goddard will go off this season. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. As long as he doesn't get hurt for 4 to 5 weeks, I think we'll be all right. We'll be all right. But I think, Kellen Moore loves using tight ends. I mean, Mr. Rip with the super chat, appreciate it so much, man. So we need a Shelton and Lido draft is the worst way. We have two softies starting at cornerback, and those cornerbacks we draft better. Well, here's the thing, dude. Like, James Bradbury and Slay are an older generation. That's the problem. And when you're getting older, you're getting softer. And that's the truth. Not everybody's like that, but a lot are like that. We need like a corner that comes out of this draft that just wants to fucking hit somebody in the mouth. That's what we need, okay? I want to see a hit that leads to the opposite player to have no fucking teeth. I'm not even kidding. Like, that's where this whole thing has to go to. That's where we have to be with the next player that walks in here. But we'll see, So do you see us drafting a safety with our first 3 picks? 100% I do. I see that. It really depends. Like I said, the draft, we get fast forward to the draft and talk about a lot of that stuff. The problem is that free agency is going to tell us where they will go. And we have to remember, too, that a lot of cuts are June 1st, specific players, not everybody, for the June 1st post-June cuts. But free agency will designate what the Eagles are doing in the draft, or we'll get more of an idea. We got the combine in like a week and a half. I don't know when. Me and Philly will be streaming probably the first 2 days of the combine. So, kind of look at everybody, see what's going on. Tax, I like when you keep it real. That's all I do, bro. That's all it is. We got 228 people in the chat on a Monday night. I don't know what day it is. If you guys haven't subscribe to the channel for new Eagles content every single day. Streams on Mondays, Fridays, the shakedowns on Saturdays, and a lot more to come. Make sure you hit the like button as well. It does help out the channel a lot. Hitting the like button always helps support. It always pick up one of your Shake Squad memberships in the pinned comment. We'll be doing a lot of draft highlight reactions really soon. I've already recorded a lot already. I just haven't released any yet because I want to kind of release them at a specific time. So definitely become a member, support, and all that great stuff. So We're going to go for another few minutes. I know it's been over an hour already, but definitely another few minutes. I already put out a video today. We'll have another video tomorrow as well. So look out for more news regarding free agency and all that great stuff. You want all the rumors? It's all right here, you know? JT Fish says you should do more streams with Philly Mike. Well, here, what happened was I think last weekend or the week before. So we were supposed to, the Philly Goat podcast and the Philly Shakedown were supposed to lock in for a stream a week or two ago. Because of my schedule, I couldn't go because it was my girl's birthday, so I couldn't do anything for the weekend. So we were supposed to stream together. We were supposed to have a 2 podcast stream that weekend. We were going to surprise everybody. We couldn't do it. So I just I texted LB and apologized and hopefully we could do something another weekend. I already contacted him about it and apologized I couldn't make it. So we'll definitely do another one. I don't know when, but hopefully soon before the season starts, and we'll get together and talk about the team and stuff. So that was supposed to be the plan. It never happened though. But I would be very excited to work with those guys and just talk football in general. So I mean I haven't had anybody on this channel and really since Joe's been on. Really, I like bringing on guests and stuff. Hopefully we will soon. Yeah, I think this is a good class, though. I think there's a good class for what the Eagles need cornerback-wise this year. Domenico says, Joe, your channel is freaking awesome, brother. I listen every morning, at least every time you update us. Appreciate the hard work. Skiing no Decola. All right, I gotta learn it, man. I gotta learn it. I'm not good at pronouncing names. I'm not, because I feel like then it feels like I'm disrespecting somebody, which I don't mean to be disrespecting somebody, but you know what I'm saying. So, but other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. I want you guys to have a fantastic day today. We'll be streaming Friday. Our next stream will be Friday, and hopefully we'll have more to talk about by that time. But by then we'll have, obviously, check out videos every single day. Check out the video I just put out today on some of the Derrick Henry stuff and a lot of other rumors. So any type of rumors, I'll be putting videos out as usual. And that's it. So you guys have a fantastic day. Subscribe, hit the like button, do all that great stuff. Pick one of those memberships up for $2 for some extra content in the near future. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes, what up, follow, slide. Peace out, guys. And peace out. Love you all. Peace.